It's Alison Creamer, and I am here with Cathy Talley. Cathy is a co-owner of Estate Sales of Virginia. She is with Nancy Britton, that is your partner. Mm-hmm. And you guys basically keep people from losing money or helping them understand this is not valuable, this is valuable when we're making some life changes. So tell me a little bit about your company, how long you've been in business, and then we'll get right into how you help people.
All righty. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Estate Sales of Virginia was formed some years back. We've actually been doing this type of thing for 15 years. We, under this name, have been in business for a little over 3 years. And we formed the business because we saw a need. There is an actual need out there for folks who, two avenues typically we get calls from. One is from folks who are maybe in their 60s to 80s and they're downsizing, moving from the large home into the 1,200 square foot condo. Or we get many calls from folks who, unfortunately, their parents have passed on and they have a house full of things and have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
The word overwhelmed is often used. The word stressed to the max is often used. And that's where we come in to help out. We can help them from the beginning to the end and just take things into a way that we can do it for them because of our organization and our knowledge and our background, and it just takes the burden off them. And
so you know, not only do you help relieve stress, but you help maximize what is valuable and what isn't, because I think that's part of anything is these people go into the unknown. They don't know how much should they sell mom's furniture for, or if this piece of glass is actually valuable. Mom always thought it was valuable, but maybe it really isn't. Mm-hmm. So I love a little bit of your story, your way back story, that you were a yard sailor and just that kind of dipped your toes into the beginning of this business. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, from years and years and years ago, my hobby, my avocation was from May to November, put on the flip-flops and the shorts every Saturday morning, get out there at 7 o'clock because the early bird got the worm. And bargain hunting. I mean, it's, you know, people have addictions. That was my addiction. It's the thrill of the hunt. Mm-hmm. And when you go to some place and you say, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. I've been looking for this. And you see you can get it for a really good price. It's just exciting. So that was the thing we would do. My partner and I would do this every weekend. And after a while, I mean, you don't need but so many things. So after a while, it became order taking.
Let's meditate on that. You don't need but so many things.
That's a really good point.
Yes. Go ahead.
So that really leads in very well into estate sales. Have you ever thought about how much stuff we accumulate?
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
yes.
Every time anyone moves, they give away tons of stuff to Goodwill. They try to give it away to friends. They throw stuff away. They put a little dumpster up and just throw it away because we accumulate so much stuff. And that's part of the reason people downsize. Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason when the loved ones pass on, there's things that have to be dealt with. Decisions have to be made. And just as you say, if you've always seen that china sitting on mom's hutch, you don't know if it's valuable or if it's just something you've used all the time. She may have gotten it in a box of oatmeal in 1920. But,
which would probably make it valuable, Cathy.
But back then you wouldn't have thought it.
Exactly.
So,
well, I love the idea of, you know, I know that we have things in our home that I think could be valuable, but maybe they're not. So I may be trying to push a dollar amount on something that I'm never going to be able to sell because it's more valuable to me than it is to the consumer. So having somebody that before you get rid of everything, come in and help you determine this is an estate piece where we can most likely maximize your profit. And this is a yard sale or a donation item. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what you do as well, right?
Yes, we do offer free consultations, much like a realtor does. We go to their home, we sit down and talk with them. We have them take us through the home, point out what pieces they are going to keep, what pieces are going to Aunt Sue, and what pieces they wish to liquidate. And from that, we can determine if it's something we can help them with, because sometimes there's not enough left over for us to actually do an estate sale, mm-hmm. but we can give them advice on what they can do with it. And other times there is enough that we can just do a wonderful sale for them and help them bring in some profit from these things. Part of the challenge, of course, is just as you say, is it valuable or is it not? So I advise people typically when they're going through a house full of things like this to make 3 piles. One is definitely throw away. Now just put it in a pile and throw it away. The other one is goodwill, donation, something that you don't really want, don't think is valuable, but you think somebody else may get some use of it. And the third one would be, this is something we want to liquidate. And of course, sometimes we'll look at it and we'll find that it needs to go in one of those other 2 piles, and we will advise as such. But more often than not, those things do have some value. It's just a matter of whether the value is what they think it is or what we can actually sell it for.
Which you were saying, you have a client who has a piece that they feel is very valuable, and in their mind what they bought it for. And just like we were saying in real estate or in car sales or anything else, you take the emotions out of it. You are looking at, it doesn't matter what you can find it selling for. Let me show you what people have actually said it was worth. And it is a hard thing to go through, especially if you're downsizing due to, losing a loved one. So it's nice to know that there's somebody there that can do that. Now, do you set up the estate's sale in the person's house, or do you remove the items?
No, all of our sales are in-home sales. Some people call them tag sales. They are much like the proverbial yard sale, only it is inside the home. It's a much classier operation. I mean, a yard sale, they vary from somebody just throwing junk out on the yard, maybe on a blanket, maybe not, to maybe a little bit classier operation where they bring out tables and put stuff on it. But what we do is we literally go into the person's home and turn it from a home environment into a sales environment. So with that in mind, it brings up a subject, which is it's very difficult for us to do this unless the home is vacant. If you're trying to live in that home, and I've covered every available inch of space in the kitchen with china and pots and pans and silverware, you can't get to your sink, you can't cook. And often we work late till 9 o'clock at night, and you've got to get up and work tomorrow morning at 5. It's very difficult. So that's one of the challenges we face is we have to make sure that the home is going to be vacant for us to be able to work in, to prepare it properly to have a successful sale.
Because it's your storefront for that day, and you need to maximize that space.
Exactly.
Wow. So you also had another career before this career, and what was that?
I was, for many, many, many years, a mortgage loan officer.
So you get the people aspect of it, the ups and downs of it, because I don't know if I could sell money, because that's what you have to do. Houses are easier, but the emotions. And then you also own another business.
Yes, I'm also a general contractor, which sometimes goes hand in hand with doing the estate sale business. We'll often get called to go out and do a consultation for an estate sale, and in our conversation we find out their ultimate goal is to sell the house. Mom and dad are gone, and they need to get rid of the house as well as the belongings. I hate to use the word get rid of, but ultimately that's really what we're doing for them. We're helping them rid themselves of things they don't really need. Excuse me. So when we go into the home and they show us the different things, and they'll say, well, we're going to sell the house, but we've got some work that has to be done on it. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I can offer help to update that bathroom, update the kitchen, repaint, whatever it is they need to do. And so it works well together.
Well, I like that atmosphere, because you really are coming from a spirit of helping. By helping them, you get to help yourself, very much like in any good sales industry. If you focus on what your client needs, ultimately your needs are met. Now, pricing and how all that works, I know we're going to have in the show notes some comments and some write-ups of things that you've shared with us, so people can go into Conversations with Creamer and read that if they're only listening on the blog. But pricing is kind of difficult, and that can kind of slide, and the scale can be different. How is the general structure that somebody could expect?
Well, it's much like anything else. If you, and I hate to use the phrase, you get what you pay for, but you do. If you get someone who charges a lesser commission, you're going to get lesser work for it. You're going to get somebody who just maybe puts a sign up in the yard, maybe puts one on the corner, and doesn't price anything in your home. They don't clean things. They just sit in there and expect people to come and sell your things. You're not going to sell a whole lot that way. There's so much preparation that goes into doing this job if you're going to do it properly.
Well, merchandising.
Merchandising
People
is a
will
wonderful
shop
word
at
for it.
Target, but they won't shop at Kmart.
Right.
And there are some items that are extremely similar at the two stores, but the merchandising does not make you feel good when you walk into one of those stores. It doesn't inspire you or ignite your experience.
Right.
And so hiring the right person to inspire and ignite that shopping experience can definitely make or break the sale.
Definitely, and that's where another part of my background comes in. I had a company as a stager at one time. And I have a background in
all those yard sale bargains.
There you go. Exactly, and that's no joke.
You had to find a home for them.
Exactly. So I have a background in staging and marketing and decor and sales. And it all really comes together well to pursue this venture, and it has panned out very well for us. With that in mind, with the marketing, I mean, we bring in so many things to help make the items present well. Whether it's tables to set up and we put tablecloths on them, we don't just throw things on a card table, even to the point where when we put up your cleaned crystal, because we don't put it up without washing it, or put it out, I should say, we put mirrors under it. I mean, it's the marketing thing. You go in a jewelry store and they've got mirrors under their rings and light shining on them so they sparkle and appeal to you. We use the same logic.
That is really, I'm kind of glad we went down that path, because I am now really understanding this is not, hey, we're having a yard sale, everybody come in. This is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I am going to do everything I can to expose and maximize your items to get the best bang.
Exactly.
And make that person fall in love with this piece because it's glorious. Big difference between yard sale
Absolutely.
and estate sale.
Very big difference.
So before we start to wrap up, I'm wondering, has there ever been a piece that somebody was going to give away and you were like, oh my goodness, I just saved you a whole bunch of money because you were about to throw something away valuable?
Well, there's probably never been one. There's probably been many.
A whole lot, exactly. You were saying that somebody had Fenton glass.
Yes.
And they didn't even know it.
Absolutely.
They had Capodimonte
Exactly.
pieces that they just had no idea.
She had no clue the difference between that and some Christmas ornaments that she found in the attic. And when we came in, we did a consultation with her. This one was not for an estate sale. It was a consultation which was paid, because typically our consultations are not. But she wanted to know what was valuable and what wasn't, so she could make up her mind if she wanted to go the next step or have a yard sale or donate or whatever. So we do offer paid consultations in that regard as well. Excuse me. But when I looked at it, she said, well, I don't know anything about that junk. It's just something I found. And I'm looking at my partner, but this is Fenton. This is Capodimonte. You don't want to sell that in a yard sale. So we saved her some money in that regard.
So that's good. So whether you're actually looking to do a full-blown estate sale or you're starting to downsize mom's things, you think they're valuable, but you're not sure, instead of packing everything up that could break, hauling it to a pawn shop, or, trying to do that yourself, you can also offer that, consultation. There is a fee for that, and somebody can contact you to figure out what that is. But I'm telling you right now, not having to wrap everything up, pack it all up, cart it to a store, unpack it, repack it, and bring it home, a fee might be worth it.
Well, we are a service just like any other service. And much like, you can sell your own car, you can sell your own house. Are you going to get what it's worth for it? Maybe not, probably not. Are you really willing to put in the work and the effort that's necessary to do it and get what you need from it? Most people aren't. And so many times what we do, we're contacted by the adult children of a parent who's passed. The parent lived here. The one we just finished, the adult child lived in Bremerton, Washington. I mean, we deal with the adult children from all over the country who call us to say, help, I don't know what to do. I can't be there, and I really need someone to go in and take care of this for me. So it's a service that we offer in that regard that's so helpful to these folks.
Which is good, because it also takes the emotions out of it.
It does.
You can really put all that fear to bed for that client and let them know, look, we did maximize everything that we could, and the things you let go of, it was fine to let go of them.
Right.
So
our mission, our goal, is to maximize the profit and sell every item.
You know what? That is a very good thing to close on. If you are interested in contacting Cathy, she can be found at 757-285-3838. estatesalesofvirginia@gmail.com is their email address. And estatesalesofvirginia.net is the website. You're also going to find all this information in the written form on Conversations with Creamer if you'd like to go over to that website, click on the blog. And Cathy, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.